Is your election news leader. And this week, Governor Greg Abbott emerged as the big winner in the primary runoff. While he wasn't actually on the ballot, a large number of Abbott-backed candidates won their race, giving the governor the votes he needs to pass school vouchers.
There will be plenty of votes to make sure we pass school choice.
That's what the governor told me in an interview last month. Results from Tuesday's runoff show in 4 of the 6 key House races, Abbott-backed candidates ousted the incumbent.
I think right now we can say the governor's in a pretty good position in terms of being able to pass school choice during the 2025 legislative session.
The governor's plan calls for education savings accounts, which would allow parents to use taxpayer dollars to send their kids to private schools. Professor Mark Jones says the devil will be in the details.
So key questions will be, how many students does it apply to? How much money do they receive in their educational savings accounts? And how many school districts will be held harmless, at least for 4 or 5 years, for any students that they lose as a result of the school choice program.
And while a majority of Abbott-backed candidates did prevail, that was not the case for House District 1, including Texarkana, Linden, and Paris, where former school administrator Gary Van Dever survived. In a statement, Van Dever said the big city politicians and D.C. super PACs believe they could pour millions of dollars in false advertising into our district and fool us into believing their lies. He goes on to say, unfortunately, in many parts of Texas, they succeeded. But here in Northeast Texas, we rejected their gutter politics for what it is. For over a year now, East Texas public school leaders have voiced their opposition to the governor's plan.
We keep hearing that 31 states already do it, so it must be good. So much for Texas exceptionalism.
But the governor insists, if anything, his plan will help public schools.
The people who are against school choice, they really don't know why. They just don't want to have competition in their schools.
And while the governor did campaign for many of the winning candidates, there was also big-time influence from wealthy donors and pro-school voucher PACs.